Welcome, jury members. Today, we Team 2 will be presenting our topic, which is the hospital business model of the future. Our team comprises of four diverse individuals belonging to different backgrounds and different places. Myself, Amit Shetty. I'm a chemical engineering student at University of Wisconsin-Madison. Farah Ahmad, who is pursuing an MBA in marketing and has an electrical engineering degree. Sohini Saha, who's pursuing an MBA in global supply chain management, and Talia Khan, who's pursuing an MBA in global finance. So the following is a story of how we are going to go about the topic. We are presenting a short summary of how we identify the problems, which is by analyzing the stakeholder pain points, operational and financial flows in the hospital, as well as the COVID-19 pandemic situation. Our storyline is similar to the concept of backward engineering, as we start with our findings and then have the entire process laid out in the appendix section. We start off with looking at the general trends in the healthcare industry as well as its demographics. We then look at the stakeholders, the existing business models and KPIs, and the operational and financial flows to understand the problems that currently persist in hospitals. We then summarize these problems and present solutions that we came up with, ending with conclusion and recommendations. This slide comprises of some of the key demographic and hospital-related statistics that we found based on our research. The UAE population comprises of 9.9 million people, which is expected to grow to 10.7 million by 2033. This population has grown tremendously over the past few years because of innovation and excellence in all fields. A large mix of the population comprises of expatriates, almost 90%, and 10% of UAE nationals. Now, 66% of the funds by the government in 2018 were directed towards the healthcare industry, which is almost 15 billion US dollars. And the healthcare industry is expected to grow by 7% in the next few years as well. From 2013 to 2017, there was an increase in hospital beds at a compound annual growth rate of 4.8%. Next, we need to understand who the different stakeholders in the hospitals are. So stakeholders are defined as people who are affected by or are interested in the working of a given organization. There are two classes of stakeholders, internal and external. Internal stakeholders comprise of hospital employees, mainly doctors, nurses, administrative staff, and bigger players such as the board of directors. External stakeholders comprise of all the other key players such as suppliers, patients, government bodies, and insurance. In UAE, specifically Dubai, the government bodies consist of the DHA, MOHAP, and the Dubai Municipality. Healthcare consumerism is changing how hospitals operate, resulting in new business models that will help providers meet consumer demands and remain competitive. In the case of the product leader, hospitals and health systems in this business model deliver the highest quality and most advanced care that generates predictable outcomes for one or more clinical outcomes. In the case of experience leader, the hospitals give utmost importance on customer satisfaction and mainly target healthier population. Emphasizing value through greater scale and scope is the aim of the integrated business model. And lastly, the health manager ensures that better health plans over a period of time are created. On the right, we have the KPIs, where the KPIs are a metric of well-defined performance and performance measurements that are used to monitor, analyze, and optimize all relevant healthcare processes to increase patient satisfaction. So this slide basically comprises of our traditional and the future operational flow as well as the financial flows. So we looked at the proportion of funds and saw that the major expenses are by the government, insurance companies, and employers, as well as individuals themselves. Also, the parties mentioned here are the collectors of revenue, while the health authorities of the various emirates act as the revenue pool. These are then extended towards the hospitals. Moreover, in the current operational flow in the hospital, it involves greater waiting time for patients, which was also seen as a pain point, which I'll be talking further. Using this, we were able to create a solution which would improve time efficiency as well. So this slide basically shows all the different pain points that we identified, and there were almost 70 different problems that were identified. Now, using these as our basis, we came up with various different solutions of how the hospital of the future would operate. So the hospital of the future would consist of virtual learning, which would be through the use of augmented and virtual reality software. This would help surgeons map out their procedures and also show the patients the exact steps, which would reduce the stress faced by the patients and the fear. Next, through the use of machine learning and AI, there would be a simplified admission and discharge process, which would reduce the redundancy in the forms that are required. Next, the hospital business model of the future would be more focused on patient satisfaction rather than the physician centered. So, through the use of wearable technology, patients will be able to monitor their symptoms and report directly to specialists. This would result in more personalized and accessible patient care. Moreover, operational efficiencies through technology. Through the use of robotics and blockchain technology, this will transform the operations in the supply chain management in the hospital forever. Sorry. So other technological improvements were wearable blood pressure monitors, drones for delivering medical supplies, audiovisual therapy for pain, biosensors, mobile apps, smart toothbrushes, and so on. We came up with one solution for all the internet problems, which is the app called Medify Me. So it is basically a combination of medical and notify. It implies that the app is a consolidation of all kinds of notifications for patients. It can also be used by medical tourists, which would be great during Expo 2020. So through this app, you will be able to find all the different doctors along with medical insurances, all the COVID-19 hospitals and locations, navigations within the hospital, radiology lab near the patients, pharmacies near the patients, public transport near the patients, as well as all the medical records as well. So these are just some of the different problems that we found, and all of these solutions can be implemented by the app. In conclusion, the app that we created called Medify Me can maximize customer satisfaction and has a patient-centric approach. It comprises of digital patient care and dynamic view of all the patient's conditions, as it can also be integrated with the wearable technology. It can improve the operational flows and the financial efficiencies within the hospital. Moreover, it also allows for talent enhancement and capacity utilization, also has a healing and well-being design. Thank you so much for listening to my talk, and I hope we can answer any future questions. Thank you.